case you're interested in getting any of my picture editing file, from my overlays down to my color lookup, which is my lot file, so you just have to scroll down to your video. So under the comment, this is my description. So it's not going to load the description for you. You just have to click on show more, click on it. So it's going to show all the options. Once it does that, just click on my store link. So here's my store link. Once you click on it, it's going to take you directly to my store. So you can actually select any file you want. From the color lookup, this is a light skin LUTs. This is a feather which I use in my recent video. This is 100 premium baby overlays. This is my first video course. This video course entails on how to download all the files I want. The site I use in downloading all my files free of charge, including my Photoshop panels also. This includes my PNG files. This includes all my packs, all my picture editing files, my premium overlay, my PNG, my flying fabrics, my color lookup, my presets. So once you buy this, you've already bought everything apart from this one. So here is my flying fabrics. Here is my, in case you want to give me any project for me to work on. Here's my color lookup. Here is my background overlay, and here is my preset file. So in case you're interested in buying any one, you can actually go for them. The good news there is that you can actually buy your own currency, any currency of your choice. You can buy with any currency of your choice. So here are parts of the file I have here. Here's my glitch, as you can see. So this picture, I took this picture with Canon 6D. I took this picture with Canon 6D, 3 light setup, a Godos 8200 Pro and 2 TT520 flash. So in conjunction with 2 beauty dish. So that's how I came about this picture. And it was actually taken on a cheap backdrop, as you can see right there. So it's a very, very cheap backdrop. In Nigeria, they do sell the background for just 5,000 naira only. So I'll be showing you how to transform this picture to a very, very nice manipulation. But it is going to be a very, very simple manipulation, not an extreme one. So you should be able to follow along. And I'll be showing you the treatment from scratch so that you'll be able to do that once we're done with this class. So you can also record this video on ground for future reference, so I can just go back there in case you have any issue later on. So I can just go back to the video and start watching again. So now let's get started. So once I bring the picture into Photoshop, the first thing I'll be doing right now is for me to make some settings in my camera raw. So because I shoot with RAW, so if I'm to shoot RAW, bringing the picture into Photoshop is going to open in camera raw for me instead of taking it directly into my Photoshop. So that's why it brought us here. So we just have to make basic adjustments here, like the exposure, but I think the exposure is kind of okay for me. I just have to add a little of contrast and bring down the highlight a little bit. Also, I'll bring down the white a little bit. And I think for now, I'm done with my camera roll. So the next thing I'll just have to do after that is to click on open. I just have to open it in my Photoshop and wait for it to load up. So as you can see, here's what our picture looks like in Photoshop. So the first thing you need to do is to resize your picture. So you can choose whatever size you want for it. But there's a particular size I love using the most. And I do tell you guys why I use that particular size. It's the 4x5 pixel. The reason why I use the 4x5 is that I post mostly on my Instagram. And I don't like Instagram resizing my picture for me whenever I post. So it's better I do the cropping myself in Photoshop and get the actual size I need instead of waiting for Instagram to do it for me. So how am I going to do that now? Just to click on my crop tool. Here's the crop over here. So before I go further ahead, I'm currently using Photoshop Creative Cloud 19. So the reason why my panel is this way is because I'm using a photography panel. In case you are not seeing your panel displaying this way, you just have to come to your window. Under window, you go to workspace. Under workspace, you are going to switch it to photography. Once you switch to photography, you should be able to have your panel this way, but the toolbar you have over here is going to be displaying this way. Instead of the both side over here. So the reason why I switch it to the double panel is that I'm not seeing everything I need. There's a color palette down here, which I'm not actually seeing, which I actually need for my editing process. So that's the reason why I switch it into two. So I'll be able to see everything from A to Z. for all the tools I need. So that being said, right now, let's go to our crop tool. So here's where your crop tool will be right now. Once you click on the crop, as you can see, it's already on my 4x5 pixel. So all you just need to do right now is just to expand down, drag it up again, as you can see, around this way, until you are satisfied with what you want. So if you are not satisfied with it, you can actually just keep doing it again. So, but I'm satisfied with it right now. So I just have to click on my OK. Click on Enter key. So once you click on Enter key right now, the next thing you'll be doing is to expand the background. Because what you did right now, here is where our background is right now. So we are going to fill this area up with the initial backdrop to make it look more realistic, so that someone might not even tell the difference if we actually expand the background or that's how the background is. So for you to do that now, I just have to go to my rectangle marker tool. This is it over here. Once you click on it, make sure the feather is on 0 and make sure you're making the first selection. Make sure you're on the first selection. So scroll over it this way, as you can see right now. Then you can just move it closer to the subject in the picture, but make sure it's not touching anything she's wearing or touching the subject at all. Make sure the line is not touching your model or the subject or any accessory he or she is wearing. So once you drag it close to her, then click on Ctrl T for free transform. Then you hold down your shift key. Make sure you're holding down the shift key. Hold the shift key down. Then you drag from the middle. There are 3 dots at the edge here. So make sure you're dragging from the middle one. Then you drag right. You keep dragging until you're no longer seeing any of the blemishes again. Then you click on your OK. Ctrl D to deselect. Click on your OK. Click on your OK. Then Ctrl D to deselect. So if you don't want to use your command key to deselect, you just have to go to select. Under select, you click on deselect. So it's going to deselect it for you. Then you do the same thing to the top hand side also. You do the same thing there. Then you click on your Ctrl D to deselect. So you go to the top side also, you do the same thing, you scroll right. Make sure you avoid any parts of or any accessory he or she is wearing. Then Ctrl T for free transform. Hold the shift key down, then Ctrl T. Then drag it up. Make sure you're holding your shift key down. And before you remove your hand on the shift key, make sure you remove your hand on your mouse first, or the tablet you are using. After that, you click on your OK, then click on Ctrl D again to deselect. You go to the left hand side, you repeat the same thing there also. Ctrl T for free transform. You hold down the shift key, then you drag to the left. Someone would think the background is this wide without knowing we did an extension to the background. So click on your OK, Ctrl D to deselect. So that being said, right now, the next thing we'll be doing right now is for we to retouch our picture. So most of the time on my YouTube video, I don't drop videos. I don't show people how I do my retouching. What I just go to is straight to my manipulation. But I'll be showing you how I do my retouching, which I actually dropped the file also. This is my reflex retouching action. So these are the action I use for retouching my pictures. So there's a tip I'll be sharing with you right now. As you can see on our skin right now, our skin is glossy, even without starting the retouching yet. Look at how concentrated the lights look on our skin. So what I actually use there is baby oil. So before I start the shoots, for me to achieve something like this, so I do have some baby oils in my studio, which I actually apply on their skin to make it look glossy on the picture. But I avoid their face with the skin oil because it's going to be too glossy, which I don't like. But other part of the body is better for you to apply stuff like that there to make it look glossy, and it will be easy to retouch. As you can see, look at how smooth our skin is right now. Even I haven't done any retouching yet. So firstly, now let's start with the retouching right now. So the first thing we'll be doing right now is for we to remove some blemishes on her skin because she does have some spots. And there's something I do while I'm editing any of my pictures. I don't usually work on my background layer. So I prefer duplicating my background layer. In case I make any mistake, I can easily go back and make amendments by deleting the layer I'm working on and Control J on the previous layer again for me to redo that particular step instead of me starting afresh again. So I hope you get that. So work with many layers as possible. So now let's duplicate our background layer now. Here's our background layer. Let's duplicate it by clicking on Control J. So zoom in, zoom in. I'll be using my part 2 right now. Here's the part 2 over here. So I'm going to circle over the area where there is a blemish. Then I'm going to drag it over a clean area. So Control D to deselect. As you can see right now, the blemish is no longer there. Here's the before and after. So we're going to keep doing that. As you can see, let's keep removing the blemishes. So we are going to use the retouching to do the rest. But for now, let's just use the part to remove the blemishes for now. So let's look for another place where there is blemish there. Okay, I think we're done for now. So Control D to deselect. Now you can now go to your action. I actually drop an action for you guys to use. So make sure you install it in your Photoshop. So the action I'll be using right now, I just have to come. So this is my action panel over here. Then I'll scroll down to where the action is installed.
Oh God of mercy.
Hello, I can hear you. Hello, should I proceed?
Proceed.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
I'll just have to click on the frequency separation.
Yes, sir.
So the reason why my frequency separation panel is this way, it might be different from yours. The reason is that I actually just did a little bit of modification to it. So for it to be able to get your panel like this, just come to the 4 dot over here, then turn on the button mode. As you can see, mine is already on. So once you turn it off, it's going to load the panel the way it's supposed to be. So this is how the panel is normally. So for you to get the one I use, the reason why I use that is it's easier for me to navigate. And also just one click away, it's going to apply the action for me the way I want it to be. So I'll just go back to that 4 dot over there. Then I'll change it back to button mode. So it's going to bring all the lots out for me, the actions out for me this way. So the next thing I'll be doing right now is just to click on my frequency separation. I'll click on it and wait for it to load the actions for me. But when you get to the radius of the Gaussian blur, I want the skin to be glossy. I want it to be glossy. So I'm going to reduce the radius down to about 2.5. Then I'll click on my OK. So once I'm done with that, I'll make sure I'm on my low frequency layer. I'll click on the low frequency layer. Let me turn this off right now. Then I'll scroll down. I want to start retouching from the leg. Then I'll pick my mixer brush. Here's my mixer brush to over here. So the mixer brush I'm using right now, here is my settings. I'm using my weight to be at 10%, my load at 75%, my mix at 64%, my flow at 100%. So that's the setting I'm using currently for my mixer brush. So the reason why I'm using that is because I'm using a tablet. So it's easier for me to make use of. So if you are using a a direct mouse, you can actually reduce it because it's going to overdo the job for you. So let's start now. So I'm on the mixer brush now. Let me increase my brush size. So I'm going to be doing it on a straight line this way, straight line this way. You can't just keep retouching zigzag like this. It's going to disfigure the picture for you. All the straight line here, we are going to lose the details there, and we need all the details to make our picture look nice. So I'm going to reduce it and start scrolling 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So you're going to keep doing that. So just do it on a straight line, do it on a straight line. Make sure it's on a straight line. Don't drag A to B. Just make sure you keep doing it on a straight line. So you keep retouching it. So this is how I get my perfect retouch picture for my manipulations. So there are different ones I use for my portrait pictures, but this is how I retouch my manipulations, all the manipulation I do. So these are the basic steps I use in doing my retouching. So, and if you have to learn this also, the portrait retouching will be very, very easy for you. And also, while retouching, please don't overdo it. Don't stay at a place too long. If not, you are going to lose a detail. You are going to lose detail in that particular place you are retouching. As you can see right now. So I don't have any special techniques I use in my retouching. I just make sure I do it in a very simple way. I don't overdo it. I just make the skin as smooth as possible. Then I leave it the way it is. So let's check out the before and after of this right now. Here is the before and here is the after. Very, very simple and straightforward. Even though we are not done with it yet. So we are still coming back there again. So I'll do the same thing to this other leg also. So I'll just keep scrolling over it. As you can see, I'll keep scrolling over it. Okay, I keep scrolling over it this way. I'll keep scrolling over it. Just do it because something about manipulation, if you have to do your manipulation right, if you have to do it right, people won't pay attention to the errors you make when it comes to the retouching. What they'll be after is how the manipulation is being done. They won't chase after the error you make while you're doing your retouching. They are only going to focus on what you did right when you in terms of the manipulation. So if you're a better manipulator and you're not that good at retouching, I think you're kind of safe at the moment. Because I'm also not that good at retouching, but my manipulation aspect is still a little bit, I'm still a little bit better there, even though I'm not that perfect for now. So let me say I'm done with this area also. Let me retouch the hand a little bit also. I don't like the way these stretch marks are there. I don't like the blemishes. Let me also work on the knuckles. As you can see, I'm currently doing everything on a straight line. So let me retouch the face a little bit now also. I don't work too much on my skins. What I focus my time on is the manipulation aspect. So let's keep doing that. Let's keep doing that. So I would like to see the after result of whatever you guys do at the end, probably once you are done and you try to practice also. So I'd like to see the result of the picture you also edit so that I can. So we're done with the mixer brush for the retouching. The next thing I'll be doing right now is you can actually leave your retouching this way, but there's a way I do my retouching that make my skin harmonize all together. So I'll be sharing that tip with you right now. So I'm done with the retouching and I'm still on my low frequency layer right now. So what I just need to do right now is to click on my Lasso 2, my normal Lasso 2, as you can see right now, Lasso 2. Once I click on it right now, the next thing I'll be doing right now is for me to feather it. I'll make sure the feather is on 20 pixels. So click on 20 pixels, click on the feather. Click on the feather now on 20 pixels. Make sure it's on 20 pixels. So once you put it on 20 pixels right now, then go to this area, go to any area. Make sure you are far away from the edge. Make sure you are far from the edge. Then circle around it this way. Circle around it this way. As you can see. Do the same thing to the second, sorry, Control Z. The reason why it's deleted this selection for us before we make the next selection is because it's on a single selection. Make sure it's on the continuous selection, which is this, the addition. So do the same thing here also. Do the same thing here also. So do the same thing, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Make sure you're far away from the edge as far as possible. So after you're done with that, the next thing you'll be doing right now is to go to your filter, under filter, you go to blur, then you click on Gaussian blur. Then you increase the radius until you are seeing that the skin is very, very glossy to your liking. Once it becomes plastic look-alike, then you can just click on your OK. Then Ctrl D to deselect. So now let me show you what our skin look like before we start our retouching now. So now here is the before. Here's what our skin look like before. And now here is the after. Look at how nice and how milky it looks. So that's how I do my retouching. There's no secrets to my retouching. I don't hide anything when it comes to my retouching. So now we're done with the retouching. The next thing we'll be doing right now is what we've done so far now. That's just the basics. So we just have to merge everything all together by clicking on Control Shift and E. Hold down your Control Shift and E. Control plus Shift plus E all together. You're going to merge everything back together for you. So after you merge everything back together, now you can now start with your manipulation. The first step in manipulation is for you to duplicate your background layer. Here's our background layer. So duplicate it by clicking on Ctrl J. So the one you just duplicated right now, you are going to name it. Let's name it our model layer, model layer. Click on your OK. So after doing that, you have to come to your quick selection tool over here. Click on quick selection tool. Then you're going to click on select subjects. So you have to wait for the computer to do the selection for you. So it's not going to get everything all that perfect, but it will give you a head start. So you won't have to stress yourself to start cropping the background out from scratch again. So it's going to give you a little bit of head start where you can start from. So let's wait for the computer to do that for us right now. So it's currently working on that. As you can see, it did a great job for us. Let's zoom in to see what we did so far. It actually did a great job for us, but the thing is that it's not doing it all that perfect. So here's where we are going to come in right now. We are going to use our polygonal axle tool, our polygonal axle tool to make amendments, and also we are going to refine the edge. So let's zoom in very well now. So now I'll be picking my polygonal axle tool. It's under our axle tool. I'll pick it up. Then I'm going to zoom into a place that will be seeing everything perfectly fine. So here now, I want to add to the selection over here. So I'll make sure it's on addition. I'm going to add to the selection. I'll scroll down again to see anywhere I'm going to add to the selection again. Here it's going to be on subtraction. So I'll change it to minus. I'm going to subtract from the selection here. As you can see. So I'm going to be doing it a step at a time. Don't worry about this. I'll come back here. So here it's going to be on addition. I'm going to change it to addition again. I'm going to add to the selection. I'm going to add to the selection. Okay, here also going to be on addition too. I'm going to add it. As you can see. So take a possible time to do the selection perfectly. Here also will be on addition. Let me add to the selection here also. Yes, as you can see right now. I'm currently using my polygonal axle tool right now. That's what I'm using. And I'm currently using addition and subtraction to add to the selection and to remove from the selection. So I'll be doing that here also. Here also is addition. I'll be adding to the selection. As you can see. Here also will be on addition. So this place is going to be on subtraction. So let's change it to subtraction right now. So let's change it to subtraction. You can see. So just take your time. Take your time to do it perfect. Because if you get it wrong here right now, you're going to get it wrong all through. So here's the initial step when it comes to background manipulation. So on subtraction, we are still on subtraction. So let's move from selection. So let's add to the selection a little bit here also. Let's turn it back to addition. Let's add to the selection. So addition also here. So here, let's do a little bit of subtraction here also. Let's do a little bit of subtraction. So as you can see, I'm trying to avoid the air. And you also need to crop that out. So I'll be showing you how to leave strands of air while cropping out picture. So that's why I'm leaving here out. So I can do that later on. Pardon?
Mommy, but I want to buy Oreo. Two apples. Let's come back.
Later.
Later. Quando?
Dopo, later.
Ciao.
Okay.
Ciao.
So let's say we're done with our selection right now. So just go ahead and check it over again. Okay, I think I'm not done yet. I still have this place to crop out a little bit also. Sorry, ma, can you please mute your audio for us, please? Okay, so now we are still on subtraction over here. So let me do a little bit of subtraction over here also. So let's leave it this way. You guys might be saying, why didn't I remove all the air, all the background in the air? But don't worry, I'll be showing you an easier way to do it. That you don't have to stress yourself at all. So to do that right now, firstly, we have actually cropped out our model from the background. But normally, what you just need to do now is just to click on delete, but I don't do that. I will tell you the reason later on. What I do is I create a clipping mask, a layer mask on it. So for you to create a layer mask on it, you have to come down here. So here's the layer mask over here. You click on it. So automatically now, the background is deleted, but you can't see that right now until you turn off the background layer. So once you turn off the background layer now, you're going to see that your background is no longer there. So don't forget we are still working on our model layer.
Sorry, Reflex. I did not get the one you did before before the background was deleted. Where did you go?
Okay, let me go a step backward. Ctrl Z. Okay, so we are done with the selection right now. So after we're done with the selection right now, the next thing you'll be doing right now is to come down to these options over here. So under these options over here, I'm going to select this one, which is the layer mask. This one with the box and a little bit of circle at the middle. You are going to click on it. So once you click on it, it's going to delete the background for you automatically. But you won't know what you just did right now until you turn off the background layer. Once you turned it off right now, you're going to see that your background is no longer there. So after that, the next thing you'll be doing right now is to double click on your model layer, on the model layer mask, which we just created right now. This is it over here. So once you double click on it, it's going to open an entire new panel for you, but still inside the Photoshop again. We are still inside the Photoshop, but an entire new panel on its own. So you make sure you select the second brush. And if you are going there for the first time, you make sure you increase the transparency to 100%. Then you can just zoom in right now. So zooming in right now, the next thing you'll be doing is for you to increase the brush size. Then you scroll over the area where the background are still left, but the air is still there. So I'll scroll over here this way. As you can see, it deleted the background and also left the strand of hair for me. So that's what it's going to do. It's going to delete the background, but the strand of hair will still be there. So it's not going to make it look obvious that you actually remove the background. So it's not going to be obvious that you actually remove the background. So we are going to keep doing that. Just keep scrolling over the area. So it's going to delete some part of the hair for you, but it's going to leave it to make it more realistic as possible, as you can see right now. So it's going to be removing the background for you from the hair. So just take your possible time to do it. So you can see right now. So I'll do the same thing here also. As you can see, it's actually removed the background for us and left the strands of hair for us. So it's going to make our background manipulation look more realistic, even though we have to change the background color later on. So we are going to do the same thing here also, as you can see right now. You can see. So some might not even tell that we actually changed the background. So we're going to do the same thing here also. As you can see. So let's repeat the same step here also. Just keep scrolling over it. Don't worry, the AI is going to do the job for you. All you just need to do is just to keep scrolling over it. It's going to remove the background in where it's not supposed to be. As you can see right now. So I'm just trying to rush this as fast as possible because I'm not using a Zoom Premium right now. I don't know there's a premium on Zoom, which I'll be subscribing to very soon. So I only have 30 minutes of time. So I might actually be turned off on the Zoom very soon. I have to create another link so that you guys can join in. So let's just work as fast as possible to get it done right the first time. So let's say we're done with this right now. I just have to click on my OK. And it's going to take me down to my Photoshop. And there's this one trick. As you can see, I did it roughly, but I actually passed along the information I want to pass along. So you can actually take your time to do it perfectly. So now, that being said now, the next thing I'll be doing right now is to click on my model layer. You know, we actually work on the mask right now. I'll click on my model layer. Then I'll go to my layer over here. I'll click on layer. Then I'll scroll down. I'll come to mating. Under mating, I will come to color decontaminate. Once I click on it, I'll wait for it to load up, and I'll make sure my amount is on 89%. I'll click on OK. You won't know what it did right now, but you have to crop your background perfectly. There's no way you're going to crop your background perfectly. There will still be some strand left. So automatically it's going to delete all those strands for you. So it's going to delete those strands for you and make it look very, very real. So that being said, now the next thing I'll be doing right now, let me just zoom out again so that we can see our model. So we are done with the model layer. So let's turn back our background layer on now. We've turned it back on, which is our background layer. So we go back to our background layer again. We're going back to our background layer again and duplicating it once by clicking on Ctrl J. We are done with the model layer for now. So just leave the model layer the way it is. We went back to our background layer. So now let's change the name of this background copy one, the one we just created right now. Let's change it to modify. Modify. Click on it. So here is where we're going to be smoothing the background to make it look as seamless as possible. For you to do that right now, you have to hold down your control key. Then this is the marks we created earlier on, right? So you hold your control key down, then you click on the marks. So the selection we made earlier on is going to bring back the selection for us. So after bringing it back, we just have to go to our select. Under select, we'll go to modify, then we'll go to expand. So under the expansion, we are going to be expanding by 8 pixels. Then you click on OK. After doing that, don't forget we are not working on our model layer. We just pick something from our model layer. We are working on our modify layer right now. So what you just need to do now is just to click on your delete key. Then after doing that, Ctrl D to deselect. You won't know what you just did right now until you turn off the upper layer and the lower layer. Then you will see you actually deleted the model from the background. The first thing we did is we delete the background from the model, while the second layer is we delete the model from the background. While the last layer contains everything, both the layer and both the background and the model all together. So let's turn everything back on right now. So we are still working on our modify layer right now. Once you click on the modify layer, you just have to go to your filter. Under filter, you go to blur, then you go to your Gaussian blur. So we are going to increase our Gaussian blur right now. We're going to increase our Gaussian blur until you have a smoother background, until you are not seeing any blemishes left on the background. Like right now, my background is seamless. So I'm not seeing any blemishes on the background again. It's kind of smooth, but the only issue I'm having there is that the color on the background is not that balanced. But it's already smooth. There's no blemishes left in the background again. It is perfect. So once you're satisfied with what the Gaussian blur gives you, you just have to click on your OK. As you can see right now, look at the before of our background smoothing. Look at what our background looked like before. Look at it before. Now look at the after. Look at how smooth it is. But the issue I'm having right now is that after doing that, I lose a little bit of details. My footer shadow is no longer there again. And without the footer shadow, when it comes to manipulation, manipulation is not manipulation. It's going to look obvious. It's not going to look that realistic enough. Someone might tell the difference that this is actually a manipulation. And that's not what we want. We want it to look as perfect as possible so that someone might not tell the difference if our picture has been manipulated or it's actually been taken that way. So that being said, now the next thing we'll be doing right now is to create a mask on our modify. We create a mask on our model, right? This time around, we'll be creating a mask on our modify. So now creating a mask on our modify now, we are going to pick our normal brush, not our mixer brush, our normal brush. Mine is right over here. Once you click on it or you press your B key, your B on your keyboard, it's going to take you there. Then you make sure your brush color is on black. If your mask is on white, your brush color has to be on black. So make sure it's on 100% opacity, then increase the brush size. Then you scroll over the foot aspects where the shadows are. As you can see, it's actually brought back our shadow for us. So the shadow is blurred out earlier on. We've actually brought the shadow back, and it's going to make it look as perfect as possible. So now I can actually start my color grading now. My picture is already looking perfect, but as you all know me, I love adding a little bit of extreme manipulation to my picture. So what I'll be doing right now, the dark area over here, I don't like it. So I'll be filling it up with the initial background color. So how am I going to do that right now? I'll come to my color. Firstly, I'll click on my modify. We are still on modify, right? I'll click on my modify. Then I'm going to click on my color over here. Then I'll sample from the color I want to fill it with. I want to fill it with this color. I'll click on it. Then I'll just have to click on my OK. I'll pick up my gradients too. Here's my gradient over here. Once I open it, make sure it's on the second selection over here. This second selection, not the first one. The second one, click on it. And make sure under this icon too, it's also on the second selection. Click on it. Then you scroll over this area. As you can see, it actually deleted that dark area for us right now. So we're done with that now. So you can start coloring your picture this way and you can call it a day. You already have a nice manipulation. Or you can just start by bringing in an overlay. So let me bring an overlay and let's call it a day in this class. So I just have to go to my file manager. So here are part of the file I sent for you guys. So you can try out any of the files. So let me use this for now. I'll take this and I'll drag it down to my Photoshop and wait for it to load up. So I'm going to expand it until I see it's fitting in perfectly. So once I see it's perfect for me, I just have to click on my OK. So this is how it looks. We can leave it this way, but it's not going to bring the shadow we want for us. And for the manipulation to look real, just like I said earlier, the shadow has to be there. So we just have to change our blend mode from normal. We change it down to soft light. I'll click on our OK. So now we have our initial background color there. Our background is there. The shadow is there. And also the one we brought in also is still there. So the only thing we just need to do is that while we brought in the background, it actually came in with its own color. And also we already have our background also oversaturated already. So we are going to be deleting the color that comes with the background by clicking on Ctrl U. Then under the saturation, you are going to bring the saturation down 100%, minus 100. So you click on your OK. As you can see right now, the color on the background is no longer there again.
Oh, this is nice.
So the next thing you can do right now, you can start your color grading this way. Or you can go to your file manager and let's add a little bit of smooth effects to make our picture look extra nice. So I'll just go to my file manager. And here's the smooth I'll be using right now. You might not know what this is, but I'm going to be explaining this on my next class. So I'll just drag it down to my Photoshop. I'll drag it down. As you all know, everything we are doing so far, we are doing it directly below our model layer. As you can see, we did not touch anything on our model layer right now. That's the layer that's at the top. So make sure everything you are doing right now is below your model layer. And also what I just brought in right now is also directly below my model layer. So I just have to make some adjustments to it. I have to adjust it. You can twist it whatever way you like. So I think I prefer it to be around this way. Once I'm done, I just have to click on my OK. So what we need there is just the shape. We don't need the entire black there. I just have to hold down my Control key. This is what we brought in the window. Once I hold down my Control key, I just have to click on the box there. So it brought the selection for us, right? So just turn off what you just brought in right now, which is this window. Turn it off. Then come down here to the adjustment layer, the one with the circle and one filled with black, one filled with white. Click on it. This time around, click on your curves. Once you click on the curves, it's going to delete selection for you and load up a property bar. So under the property bar now, you're going to increase it. As you can see, it kind of creates something like a window effect at the back of our picture. So after that it's been done right now, so it came with its own marks. So under the marks, you're going to click on the marks and the property over here is going to change. So it's going to load up something like density and feather for you. So we are going to be working with the feather. Under the feather, you are going to increase it. I think around 29 is okay. Then you click on your OK. So it's going to make it look like a window reflection, like a ray of light coming from outside or coming from somewhere. And that's just it. Look at how simple and nice our manipulation is right now. So now you can start your color grading now. So starting my color grading now, I'm going to be color grading everything all together. So that means I have to click on the uppermost layer, which is my model layer. I'll click on it. After clicking on it, I'll hold down my shift key and make sure I select my elliptical marquee tool. It's not going to show out like this. It's going to be under the rectangle marquee tool. Make sure you hold your left click down then you select it. Then you hold your shift key down, then you circle around your model this way. Hold down the shift key so that your circle is going to be perfect. Once you're done with that, just remove your hand on it. Then you drag to whatever area you want it to be, but make sure it's at the middle, around this way. Then you're going to hold your Control, Shift, and I together so that it's going to invert the selection for you. It's going to invert the selection for you. After doing that, you're going to click on the adjustment layer. Then you're going to click on your solid color. So fill it is 100% black. You click on your OK. So after clicking on your OK right now, you're going to click on the marks because whatever adjustment layer you create, they always come with its own marks, even without you creating it. Once you click on the marks right now, it's going to load up the property bar for you. We're still going to be working with the feather we used earlier on. But this time around, the feather will be around 400 or 500. So you increase it. I think 520 is okay. Okay, 621 is okay. 621 is okay. 621 is okay right now. So after that, just bring down the opacity. Bring the opacity down. Bring it down. Okay. 26 is okay. 26 is okay. Click on your OK. You're going to add a little bit of vintage to the edge of your picture. It's going to make it look as if there's a light concentrated on the picture. Make the edge a little bit darker. So we are done with our manipulation. But as you all know, I can't leave my picture this way. I have to show off the lots I have in my collections to color grade my picture. So for me to do that now, I just have to go back to my adjustment layer. Then I'm going to click on my color lookup. I'll click on color lookup. Sorry, hold on. I have to go to adjustment layer. I'll click on my color lookup. So it's going to load my color lookup bar for me over here. Then I'm going to open the color lookup, load 3D lot. I'm going to open it. I'm going to scroll down to where my lots are located. So this is one I love using the most, my Mela chocolates. As you all know, if you are following my video back to back, you will know, yes, this is my favorite color lookup. So I'll click on it and boom, automatically it's going to give me a low light image. Because I prefer low light image. I don't know what other things, but for me, I love low light image. And if I see that it's a little bit too dark for my liking, I'll just have to bring it down, bring the opacity down, which is perfect. So I've actually dropped this lot for you guys to also make use of. You can, if you are in this class today, you are kind of lucky because it's part of my premium lots, which I actually sell, but I'm giving it out for free today. So just bring that opacity a little bit. So once you're done with that, the next thing we're doing right now is just for you to go to our adjustment layer again. Let's round it up. Go to adjustment layer again. Now click on our color lookup again. And I'll be using my other lots. This one is available for sale. I can give that for free. Natural fineness, I'll click on it. Boom. You're going to saturate my picture in a perfect way possible. Instead of you start color grading with your hue and saturation and stuff, it's going to do the job for you perfectly fine. Nice color grading. So if you're a little bit too much, just bring down the opacity. Bring it down. Boom. Then you call it a day. Now let's check out our before and after of our picture. Group everything all together. So I'm waiting for it to load up. Here is our before. Here is what our picture looked like before. And here is the after result of our picture. Before and after. So it's a very, very simple manipulation, but it looks very, very realistic enough.
Yes.
As you can see right now. Very, 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 very real. So we have less than 5 minutes.
It's not very simple. Sorry to cut you short. It's not very simple. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
But
it's kind of the basic manipulation. If you have to understand the logic behind this, you should be able to do extreme manipulation. So
hello, boss.
yes,
I don't know
ma'am.
if you can hear me.
Can
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know, maybe because this is my first time, but it's kind of, I don't even understand anything, but it's very, very nice. I don't understand anything, but it's so nice. It's so nice. But
You can't get
press
it all at
this,
once.
press that.
Just take your time.
And I love the way you explain it. It's kind of so nice.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Mr.
Thank you
Reflex.
so much for your time.
Bye.
I came late.